Hello there and welcome to episode 3 of Change the World, the series where we take the wrestling company that futurely will become known as AEW from the very, very beginning. And today we have a Happy New Year. It's Monday, December 31st. It is late at night. This show will end with the new year. We've got 5,726 people in the Robbins Centre in the Mid-Atlantic. And we're testing a new commentary team for a few of the matches tonight, which is Chris Charlton and Rich Puccini. Just giving them a little bit of a spin, seeing how they work. They get 27 for their hype up for the show. But of course, I am the Phantom TEW. If you like this content, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. I know it's always weird when YouTubers beg for subscribers, but it genuinely does help me. I'm trying to get to 500, and I hope we can make it there. So let's kick off. A Happy New Year. And we start off with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, a boy and his dinosaur, defeating the TH2, the Hybrid 2, Angelico and Jack Evans. When Jack Perry Jungle Boy pinned Angelico, he doesn't have a finisher at this point, it seems. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus showed excellent chemistry together. Angelico and Jack Evans got good chemistry, although Jungle Boy was a bit rusty, which does mean he wasn't great, but that will disappear probably when we start getting an actual TV show and when he can actually get a few matches under his belt again. In a Japanese Puro style match, well, of course it's Puro, it's two Puro wrestlers, Konosuke Takeshita, whose exclusive deal with DDT expired and he got signed to a handshake deal, so we're bringing him in a little bit early, defeats Yuji Nagata, who completely left New Japan, with the touchdown. Takeshita gets a 53, Nagata a 43. Nagata was a bit upset about losing this match because of popularity, but when Takeshita's gimmick is literally called The Future, you put him over the 50-year-old. A 52 rating though, not too bad. Somebody else whose exclusive contract was changed into a handshake deal is Mayu Iwatani from Stardom. Now, one thing I want to do very differently from real life AEW is I don't want to piss off all of our friends straight away. Obviously, we're still going to be stealing all of the elite straight away, but that doesn't mean we don't want to work with New Japan and Stardom, with Mayu Iwatani coming in working for both companies. But she comes in, she pins Persephone in this tag match where she teams with Hikaru Shida against Persephone and Tennille Dashwood. Two Joshis were by far the better team. 73 for Iwatani and a 60 for Shida. If we can get their pop up, we can build this division around the Joshis and we can have a stellar women's division. They're 66 overall, not too shabby. Another debut for the show is Excalibur, makes his debut as a backstage interviewer. He'll probably end up on commentary once we've experimented a bit. There wasn't any negative chemistry for the matches which Puccini and Charlton presented, but they aren't the best ones we've got. We've got better, and it's just finding what works, I guess. But Jericho talks about how he turned up at All In because he is frightened of this vision damaging professional wrestling. Jericho knows what professional wrestling needs to be, so he is not here to change the world. He is here to show that the world needs Jericho. It's a 77. Our first sort of character development from any of these characters. 6-man tag. as the team of Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara and Joey Janela defeats the team of Zack Sabre Jr., Black Taurus and William Morrissey, who will eventually become Big Bill, but right now he's W. Morrissey. Goes 8:55. Morrissey is struggling with personal issues at the moment. We may end up sending him away for a bit, letting him deal with all of his shit, and then bringing him back later on. Because right now he's not at his best. I mean, he was only released from WWE a few months ago. And, well, yeah, he had the feud with Daniel Bryan earlier this year. And he's just not quite where he needs to be personally yet to be the star which he could be. Backstage, Cody Rhodes is in his locker room and he gets approached by Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And he goes on about how he's always been inspired by Cody and his entire family. And he hopes that, he's probably heard a little bit about MJF. He's a very promising young star, but he wants to be the best. And Cody, you're the person who can help me become the best. I'm not asking for you to completely take me under your wing. But if you do have any advice, I will be the perfect student and listen and take it all in and learn. I'd be honoured to learn from you. And he just leaves and Cody's just, seems like a nice young lad. Again, we're doing the MJF tricks Cody storyline. Who knows how long we'll do it for? But we'll do it for essentially a full year from this point. Or even longer maybe, because to be fair, you can create a really nice dynamic from that storyline. Walter defeats Punishment Martinez in 11:29 with a folding powerbomb, and Walter is one of our top in-ring performers. He gets an 85 on this show. Goes 11:29. Punishment Martinez just on a one-off deal. He probably won't be a full-time AEW wrestler, but he's good to take a one-off loss to somebody like Walter. Gives a good match. Well, you think that this match would eventually be for a world title at SummerSlam, wasn't it? And here we are having it as a mid-card preliminary match in 2018. 5 years earlier. Mia Yim and Roxy versus Lisa Marie Varon and Melina Perez. Roxy debuts her prodigy gimmick. She's only 17 at this point. But Mia Yim picks up the win, tapping out Lisa Marie Varon Victoria with the guillotine choke. And again, this is the young beating the old. We know that's what we're doing here. Try to use the veterans' popularity to boost up people like Roxy, who will be a prominent part of this women's division. Oh, an 85 wrestling rating, a 78 overall. For some reason the crowd, well, it wasn't long enough for our crowd. But the Golden Lovers of Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, the Golden Elite, defeat Phoenix and Bandido in 13:43. Omega pins Bandido with the V-trigger, and they are phenomenal in this match. 83 for Bandido, 78 for Phoenix, 88 for Omega, 89 for Ibushi. Ibushi is signed with us on a handshake deal, which goes alongside his New Japan deal. If New Japan come in and try and offer him a written, that might be where we first have our first fight with New Japan, because I want Kota Ibushi. I want to tell the next chapter of the Golden Lovers story in AEW before Ibushi and Omega both fall off in ring. 6-person tag, just a squash match as the Golden Elite, the Hung Bucks, Paige and the Jacksons, the Young Bucks, defeat Diego Hill, Griff Garrison and Jasper Khan, just 3 jobbers from the local area, 2 of whom eventually would sign for AEW. Adam Page pins Jasper Khan with the Buckshot Lariat. Nick Jackson gets an 83, Matt gets a 93, 77 for Page, and low 30s for the 3 jobbers. Garrison was rusty. Jessica Khan was rusty. I hope they can get some work, because otherwise, if they stay rusty and just don't wrestle for 2 years, I'll have no interest in signing them when we would. And your main event was also a little bit too short. Probably should have gone over 20. Sees Bryan Danielson defeat Penta El Zero Miedo with the LeBell Lock after interference from Claudio Castagnoli, the second jumper. He runs in, he attacks Penta, and afterwards Rey Fenix runs out, and we get a brawl. Because at the first show of the new year, we will be getting Danielson and Castagnoli versus the Lucha Brothers. And then the Elite come out. Paige, Cody, the Bucks, and Omega. The Elite, not the Golden Elite. So no Ibushi. And they come out, and we get the AEW reveal. Just as the clock strikes midnight to start 2019. AEW. We are no longer the Elite. We are now All Elite Wrestling. We get 76, increase our pop in 6 regions. This was our first regular show since All In. I think it went pretty well. If we look at the card, the weakest match was Roxy and Yim versus Veron and Perez. Best match on the card was Walter versus Martinez. But overall, I think a solid card, solid upper card stuff. I mean, you look at the Bucks and the Golden Lovers. Great stuff. What do we get overall? So we're going to talk to, the 3 people I'm going to talk to are Kenny, Matt, and Yuji. Financially, we gained 191,000. You notice I've lost a lot of money in this past month since the last episode, or 2 months. That's simply because I've been paying off companies to get talent trade deals. Like, if people aren't happy with me, okay, here, have $250,000, have $250,000, have $250,000. You happy with me now? Cool. We can do a talent trade. Just so that I have access to this wide variety of exclusive wrestlers. So if I want to, I can bring back Okada. I can send my youngsters, I can send Roxy onto the indies for 10 matches. Give her more reps. Jack Perry, the same, he's rusty. I'll send him to a company, but maybe CZW, and he'll do 10 bookings there. Just get him back in the swing of things, so I don't have to deal with his rustiness. Same, maybe if we bring in Garrison and Khan, we'd do the same with them. And that's what the talent trade I want for, so I can bring in top stars, but also send my rusty people or training people essentially on mini excursions. Recap wise, we don't actually gain specifically in any regions, but it's all the regions where we're lowest. It's the Mid-Atlantic, which is where we were, Mid-South, Midwest, we're both on 45, and the Northwest, and the Islands. So, there's not going to be a press conference. Oh no, there is, but I'm not going to do it. Actually, no, I will do this press conference because we have just announced that AEW is a thing. So it would be realistic for there to be a press conference. Of course, they're not going to ask about that, are they? Mayu Iwatani, there's no free rides. Roxy, there's no free rides. Lena Perez, it's locker room policy. The backstage morale. I'm going to aim to lift. Happy New Year is considered a success. I'm delighted it went so well. Ibushi's extremely happy. Tenille had nothing. They're not going to ask about it, are they? Yeah, that's it. Like, realistically, yes, we'd be talking about how Tony Khan would come out and he'd probably talk alongside Cody about the prospects of AEW and the first big AEW show being Double or Nothing, which will be at the end of February. not the end of May, not the end of February. It's going to be our next show, Double or Nothing in February. And we're going to run Double or Nothing in February, or early March. Fight for the Fallen will be in April. Fighter Fest in June. All Out in August. So one show every 2 months until August, and then after All Out, we get Dynamite. Let me know what you guys think of that plan, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye!